Welcome back to WNBA Nation, where we break down the moments that make the WNBA unstoppable. Today, we're diving into a story that's got the basketball world buzzing. Natasha Howard, a three-time WNBA champion and one of the league's most dominant forces, just walked into Indiana and flipped the script on everyone who doubted Caitlin Clark. And the Fever. If you thought the Fever were just hype, buckle up. This is about to change your mind. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Let's set the stage. It's April 2024, and the WNBA is in a frenzy. Caitlin Clark, the Iowa superstar who shattered NCAA records, is now a rookie with the Indiana Fever. She's bringing unprecedented attention to the league, sold-out arenas, skyrocketing TV ratings, and a spotlight brighter than ever. But with that spotlight came the haters. Critics, led by none other than WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes, started throwing shade. Swoopes went on record saying veterans wouldn't want to play in Indiana. Why? Too much media chaos around Clark, a distraction, a circus. She claimed the Fever locker room was a place no serious player would touch. Oof. That take? It didn't. Just miss. It crashed and burned. Now let's be real. When a legend like Swoopes speaks, people listen. But sometimes, even the greats get it wrong. Because while the critics were busy spinning narratives, something massive was brewing in Indiana. Enter Natasha Howard, nicknamed Flash for a reason. This isn't just a signing, it's a statement. It's a mic drop. It's a hold my championship rings, I'm here to build a dynasty kind of moment. So who is Natasha Howard, and why does her arrival change everything for Caitlin Clark and the Fever? Let's break it down. If you don't know Natasha Howard, let me introduce you to a walking legend. This is a three-time WNBA champion, a former Defensive Player of the Year, and one of the most versatile forwards the league has ever seen. Last season, she averaged 18 points and 7 rebounds per game, numbers that put her in elite company with names like Aja Wilson and Breanna Stewart. But stats only tell half the story. Howard's got that rare combination of speed, power, and basketball IQ that makes her a nightmare on both ends of the court. At 6'2", with a near 7-foot wingspan, she's swatting shots, snatching steals, and finishing in transition like it's nobody's business. They call her Flash because she strikes out of nowhere. 1 second she's guarding a center in the paint. The next, she's sprinting for a fast break layup. And let's not forget her resume. Drafted by the Fever in 2014, she cut her teeth in Indiana before racking up titles with Minnesota and Seattle. She's been Most Improved Player, a 2-time All-Star, and finished top 10 in Defensive Player of the Year voting 3 times. Amber Cox, Indiana's COO, wasn't kidding when she said, "Most people have a 1-page resume. Natasha's is multiple pages long. This isn't a role player. This is a cornerstone." And here's the kicker. Howard didn't just stumble into Indiana. She chose it. This is a veteran with options. Teams across the league would have begged for her signature. But she looked at the Fever, saw Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and said, "This is where I'm supposed to be." That's not just a signing, that's a revolution. Let's talk about why. To understand why Howard's move is such a big deal, we need to rewind to last spring. Caitlin Clark steps into the WNBA, and the hype is unreal. She's breaking assist records, dropping 30-point games, and pulling defenders out to the logo like it's a casual Tuesday. But with that hype came skepticism. Critics said her game wouldn't translate. They said she'd be a liability on defense. And then came Swoopes' bombshell. Veterans don't want to play with her. Indiana's a mess. The implication? Clark's fame was toxic. A media circus that'd scare off real talent. Let's unpack that. Clark's rookie year wasn't perfect. Nobody's is. The Fever struggled defensively, and she had turnovers as she adjusted to the pro game. But let's not get it twisted. She averaged 17 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds as a rookie. She led the league in assists and set the tone for Indiana's up-tempo offense. And off the court? Teammates raved about her work ethic, her humility, her drive. So when Swoops suggested Clark was pushing players away, it didn't add up. And Natasha Howard? She saw right through the noise. Picture this. Clark grabs a defensive rebound, fires a laser pass 40 feet down court, and there's Howard, Flash herself, slicing through defenders for an easy bucket. That's the future we're talking about. But before we get to their on-court magic, let's talk about how Howard's arrival obliterates the hater narrative. When Sheryl Swoopes made her comments, it wasn't just a hot take, it was a challenge. She was saying Indiana wasn't a destination, that Clark's presence was a turnoff. But let's look at the facts. Howard's signing wasn't a one-off. Indiana's front office, led by Kelly Krawczyk and Amber Cox, went all in this offseason. They didn't just grab Howard, they added Dana Bonner, a 5-time All-Star, Sophie Cunningham, a playoff grinder, Sydney Colson, a 2-time champion with veteran savvy. These aren't scrubs. These are winners who looked at Indiana and said, "I'm in." Think about it. 4 big-name veterans, all with championship pedigrees, chose to join forces with Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. That's not a team nobody wants to play for. That's a team everybody wants to play for. And Howard? She's the loudest rebuttal to Swoopes' claim. At her press conference, she didn't mince words. "I feel like I'm supposed to be here. Indiana sold me on their vision, and I'm here to lead." That's not someone running from attention. That's someone stepping into it. And when Howard was handed her original 2014 Fever jersey, you could feel the weight of the moment. This wasn't just a return, it was a homecoming. She started her career in Indiana, played under coach Stephanie White, and now she's back to finish what she started. She talked about unfinished business from 2015, when the Fever last made a finals run. That's not a player settling. That's a leader ready to write a new chapter. So to everyone who said Indiana was a no-go zone, let's just say your take aged like milk left out in the sun. Howard's not just here to play. She's here to build a legacy. And with Clark as her running mate, the league better watch out. Let's talk about why this duo is about to set the WNBA on fire. If you love basketball, you're about to fall in love with this pairing. Caitlin Clark and Natasha Howard are a match made in hoops heaven. Clark's superpower? Her vision. She's throwing outlet passes before most players even see the play develop. Howard's superpower? Her speed and finishing. She's called Flash for a reason. She's gone in a blur, catching lobs and dunking on defenders who can't keep up. Together, they're about to turn Indiana's fast break into a highlight factory. Last season, Clark's passes were electric, but the Fever lacked finishers. Too many lobs went uncaught, too many fast breaks fizzled. Not anymore. Howard averaged 18 points and 7 boards last year, one of only 13 players to hit that mark. She's not just a scorer, she's a closer. Her ability to run the floor and finish through contact is exactly what Clark needs to unlock her full potential as a facilitator. And don't sleep on Howard's defense. She's been a top 10 defender for years, averaging a block and a steal every game for 7 straight seasons. That's a game changer. Listen to Howard geek out about Clark. As soon as she gets the ball, she's throwing it up because she already sees you down the court. "I can't wait to catch those passes." That's chemistry waiting to happen. Opposing teams are gonna have nightmares. Double Clark? Howard's rolling to the rim. Collapse on Howard? Clark's hitting corner threes or feeding Aaliyah Boston in the post. It's pick your poison basketball, and the Fever are serving it up. I'm telling you, this duo is gonna be must-see TV. Clark's precision plus Howard's explosiveness? That's 10 SportsCenter highlights a game. But it's not just about buckets. Howard's bringing something even bigger to Indiana, a championship mentality. Let's dive into that. Natasha Howard isn't just here to score or block shots, she's here to lead. At her presser, she talked about showing Indiana's young core, Clark, Boston, Hull, how to win. "I've got 3 rings," she said. "You can't take days off in practice. Work hard there, and the games get easy." That's championship DNA. Howard's not just a player, she's a culture setter. In the locker room, her voice carries weight. When she talks, Aaliyah Boston listens. When she hustles, Lexi Hull follows. That's how you build a contender.